Conor McGregor has had to withdraw from UFC 303 at the end of this month due to injury. Guys, we have been told it's not a major injury, but Michael, what are your thoughts?
You know, every streak comes to an end. And Conor McGregor's been on this stretch where he's never pulled out of a fight, and he's gone into fights severely compromised. When he fought Chad Mendes, he had a toasted knee. But going into this fight with Michael Chandler, coming off of the broken leg, this is not the fight to come in there compromised. This is a good time to lay that streak to rest and to focus on making sure you have a good bill of health headed into your next fight. I think it's imperative for him. I think it's the right decision for him to withdraw so he can be at his best. And look, as a fan, I'm very, very saddened by not getting to see him here in a couple weeks at UFC 303. But as a competitor, it's the right move for him.
You know, some people might look at this and say, well, this is an older Conor McGregor. But I like to also think that this could be a wiser Conor McGregor. As you mentioned, he never pulled out of a fight, and he's always taken those risks. He's done so much in his career already. After this first substantial injury that he's coming off of, we haven't seen him fight since he broke his ankle. This time away that we've been waiting and salivating for his return. To go in there not 100% could be detrimental because the Conor McGregor bandwagon would then fall apart. Go in there healthy. The good news is they're saying, look, we might be able to reschedule this fight in a couple of months so it doesn't seem like it's too severe. Not great news, but positivity and the silver lining in there as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, the MMA business is better when Conor is in it. And with this not being a huge injury, we're told, hopefully we can get it scheduled maybe later this summer, early fall, potentially. So that does mean we have a new look for UFC 303. Let's take a look at the main card. Heading your way, it's pretty awesome, guys. We've got welterweights Gary versus MVP, bantamweights Bueno Silva versus Chiesa, light heavyweight Smith versus Ulberg, a featherweight matchup at co-main between Ortega and Lopes, and a championship rematch at light heavyweight between Pereira and Prochazka. And Mike, Pereira has been staying busy. Last seen sparring with Tai Tuivasa, actually defeated Jamal Hill by knockout in the UFC 300 main event. He did the same thing to Jiri when they fought last November. How did he pull those finishes off?
Well, he pulled those finishes off by staying true to himself and sticking with what got him to the big show, and that's that elite world-class kickboxing. This is the best striker we have seen in the octagon since the Hall of Famer Anderson Silva, the greatest middleweight of all time. But this guy, it's just, he's got so much power in all of his strikes, and he chambers all that with just lumbering side to side. And it's the calf kicks. The calf kicks are devastating.
What Alan Prochazka is like nothing and no one we have ever seen before. He vacated the title because of injury. He enters this fight, though, after finishing Rakic in round 2 at UFC 300. So how can he get even with the champion?
Like someone we've never seen before. You said it. I mean, hit the nail on the head right there. How can he get this fight done? I think he needs to mix it up more. And I don't mean mix it up in the pocket again. You can't mix it up in the pocket for Pereira. You're playing Russian roulette right there with a killer. This guy has so much power. Jiri Prochazka, though, he has this unorthodox style. The punches come from the hips. You don't always see them. Wouldn't be a bad idea in this one, maybe, Michael, to mix up some of the grappling. That's the one thing that we're talking about, Alex Pereira. One of the best we've ever seen. He came into the UFC so fast, two-weight champion. Hasn't really gone against somebody that tried to really take him down. He's had one fight where he showed some grappling. This could be a good opportunity for Jiri Prochazka. Mix in the grappling. Even if he doesn't get the takedown, throw off the balance of Pereira and then land those unorthodox shots. But at all costs, stay out of that punching range from that left hook.
Well, what are you expecting, though? Because with a rematch, things can be different. They both have momentum, both fought on the same night, so equal time, to be notified about the fight.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned that Jiri likes to throw from his hands being held down low. Well, LX does a lot of the same things, but his are a lot more fundamentally sound, where Jiri, sometimes he gets lost in his unorthodox movements, and we saw that in the first fight. He had a lot of success level changing and backing Alex up to the fence, using that pressure, but it was when he stopped the head movement, when he stopped with the level changes, that he got caught with the left hook and got finished. But the one thing that I'm not sure he's going to have enough time to correct is the defense of the calf kicks, because we saw in the Alexander Rakic fight at UFC 300 that Rakic was having a lot of success with the calf kicks. Best believe Alex is going to go back to the well with the calf kicks in this fight. So I don't know if it's enough time for Jiri to correct that line of defense when addressing Alex's calf kicks. And I hate to keep using that word, but the calf kicks are going to play a big role in this fight, period.
Calf kicks during the fight. We got it on that one.
Yeah.
I always find it interesting when two guys fight on the same card and end up fighting each other because they're on the same timeline, right? They both went through the battle. They both got a victory and looked tremendous on that night. They both took the active time to rest, recover, spend time with their family. So they're on the same type of patterns right now on a short notice fight. How much adjustments can both men make on the same timeline in a short notice fight? It's going to be tremendous of fun, and we're going to watch out for those calf kicks, obviously.
Well, and there's another thing that Jiri doesn't do very well, and that's he'll reach sometimes. When he'll get calf kicked, he'll reach down to try to catch it with his hand. You start dropping your hands, you know what's coming. Not the calf kick, the left hook.
Yeah.
The best strike that he has. So if you start dropping your hands, that left hook's
A lot
coming.
of danger.
Drop the
against
hands,
Fajeda.
get dropped. All right, well, we have an excellent co-main event that night, though, in the featherweight division between number 3, Brian Ortega, and rising star 13th ranked Diego Lopes. Alan Ortega returned to form with a submission win over Yair Rodriguez in Mexico City in February. What impressed you that night?
It was the heart. It was determination. It was like vintage Brian Ortega, baby. He was back. He suffered a loss to Yair Rodriguez. It was through injury, had time off. I know he went through the lows in that fight. He found a way to win the crowd and win his peers over in this matchup. It was vintage. He was showing he had the striking. It was showing when he can capitalize on a takedown, he will then capitalize on the submission. You see him finish it, head and arm submission choke right there. Unorthodox position. He has the squeeze to get it done.
Well, but Michael, Lopes has been one to watch since his debut in May of 2023. He enters this matchup on a 3-win streak, all by finish. It is a step up in competition, so how ready is he?
Well, he captured the hearts of fans in his short notice UFC debut when he almost took out Movsar Evloev, almost beat him by submission. But this is a kid that every fight he's progressively getting better and better, and we're seeing all the shades of his game. He's got a very dangerous guard. Sometimes he'll just bail on takedown defense and jump guard and attack submissions. And for how long and lanky he is, I am so surprised how much power he can generate in a small space, because usually long guys need distance. We saw that in the Sadiq Youssef fight. He landed a beautiful uppercut in the pocket, and then he collar tied him and dirty boxed him to finish the job and get the TKO finish. So this kid's got power, he's got grappling, he's got a sick mullet. He's the complete package, in my opinion.